right, good day, everybody. Welcome to a lifetime of conversations. I am Rob,
And I'm Dave, and we're back again.
Damn right,
This one is a very special one. We have to touch on this.
Well, we're just gonna put in perspective where we are in time right now. It's been a few days since somebody
over the weekend
took a shot at President Donald Trump, and we're not gonna get political. We're not gonna drone on for 45 minutes. It's just it is what it is, and we're gonna try to just make it like a human interest story.
Yeah,
we're
going to make this as non-political as possible because, like, even I, not being an incredibly political person, I've always said we haven't had a public assassination attempt in decades.
In 45
decades, right? So this is serious. Like, this is no joke.
We have them all the time, but we don't know about them.
Right. That's what I meant. Like, publicly, where you couldn't spin it, hide it, cover it, deny it, or talk about it a week later.
The last one,
you had to address it immediately.
And the last one was Ronald Reagan in 1980, 81,
so,
whatever. 82.
Still a long time.
Yeah, and that was John Hinckley. He was in love with what was the actress? Brooke Shields.
And really? Wasn't Brooke Shields?
And he wanted to impress her.
She was hot.
Yeah. So he took a shot at Ronald Reagan.
Now she's in a nursing home.
Now back then it was the Secret the Secret Service was the real deal.
So you think they're less like? Are they?
Did you see?
So they're more secret and less service? Like
yeah.
they're like McDonald's drive-through versus like.
That they're just about that they're about as healthy.
Yeah.
So when they took a shot at Ronald Reagan, he was immediately covered and surrounded with Secret Service, and they threw him into the car and drove away.
Yeah.
That they weren't looking around, like these
There's
people.
No time for sightseeing or checking out the birds.
Get a gun in the holster. He would not have been able to stand up and pump his fist in the air. They would have grabbed his head physically with their hands, pushed it down.
Yeah. And that's what killed me with the fist pump thing. It's like they're trying to get him in the limo thing, and he's got his arm up, fist pumping the whole way, and they pull it down, it goes back up, they pull it down, and you're like, you got to be like, sir, get in the vehicle. Yeah. What the hell? Shove this guy in the vehicle. He is
now immediately.
Here's a question.
Run with him to the vehicle.
Here's a question I have that I don't know is an etiquette to it. Is he referred to being a former president as still the president?
Yeah, you still would call him Mr. President. Yeah.
Because a lot of even the interviews and when people talk, they still refer to him as president. But I never put it together if they ever referred to any other, like Obama. Did they talk to him and call him Mr. President?
Yeah. President.
Like, you're always Mr. President.
Yeah,
what happens when it's like six of them?
When is what?
There's like a whole bunch of ex-presidents in a party. Mr. President, Mr. President,
doctor,
yes,
doctor,
doctor. Yeah, that's what I think about. So it's an etiquette. Okay,
and then the current president goes, "Shut up, I'm the president.
I'm the real president."
And then Barack Obama's like, I'm the president. I was a better president than you were. No, but okay, so. He's in complete shock. He doesn't know which way is up and down. He has lost all sense of, this is how I'm supposed to act.
I said it before, right off mic, the most human he ever looked.
Yeah.
Like, he actually looked scared and like a human and not held behind a facade of narcissistic pride and proudness. And he realized that he came really close to biting the big one.
Yeah.
Right? And it's sad that it took that to see that. Like, I think the American people, not that we ever want to see this, but we want to see that you're human, that you are like all the rest of us, that a near car accident and you're in the car and your eyes go wide and your blood starts pumping and you feel like everyone else does when that happens to them eventually or something like that. And it was wild.
Yeah, but this guy supposedly was on the roof for a while.
I know.
There were people in the crowd pointing, trying to show the cops.
That's like cell phone footage. You can't deny that. Like, it's right there. And they told, this is where you start getting the facts, like, days after. I'm watching every day, getting a little bit more. And that's really all I want. We just want the facts. Like, I don't need to talk about the political rhetoric. You don't care.
The Kennedy assassination, you could bullshit us about that because we have a grainy black and white film. After he was
shot, a lot further.
Yeah, he was shot in 1963. And that footage didn't come out until the 70s. Nobody ever saw that
Yeah,
until Geraldo Rivera played it on live TV in front of a live studio audience.
And it's still got to be released and be okayed, and after it's been scrutinized and yada yada.
It's crazy.
But yeah, this was pretty, and what, less than 150 yards, something ridiculous, and I don't know. A lot of it just seems really shoddy.
We didn't check the roof, and this is the
building that he was on.
Yeah,
there were Secret Service people in it, looking out the windows in other directions, but no one thought to put someone on that roof. Like, why?
Because it was dangerous. Because it was slanted, so they didn't check it. Because it was a slant, somebody could have fell off the roof. So
they're there to save the president. They're worried about a slanted roof.
Yeah.
There are small Mexican guys I've seen scaling roofs for rich people, putting on tiles for less.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to hear that.
Well,
That's
not
some
only
bullshit.
that, how about with the hundreds of trillions of dollars the government has? Maybe buy a drone with a camera on it.
Or designated satellite coverage, because you know that they can see down to the color of your shoelaces with some good shit. You know that. It just seems shoddy, doesn't it? And I don't want to scream conspiracy.
And I was just
not even close.
I'm not the big conspiracy theory guy,
But
but the more and more this stinks.
Too many holes. That's all. And now what's in the holes? I don't know. I don't even care to look. I mean, I'll just wait till. The kind of shit that people were saying right after is ridiculous. Like, he staged it himself. Like, no, that was too close.
Yeah.
Even if that was real bullet and that is an actual shot, you would never stage it to be that close. Are you kidding me?
Shoot my ear, but nothing else.
Right. You're the best sniper in the world
shot.
couldn't even do it. And this kid is a fucking 21-year-old tool bag from PA who took a day off of the nursing home.
And
right?
people are screaming, he was a registered Republican. He was a 20-year-old idiot. Like he knows
He was just a
anything
kid.
about the real world.
You know, the
of
unfortunate
politics.
part is it would, you see in the picture, and a little bit of the background, the loner, the bullied, kind of like outside the social norm, right? He just fits the school shooter stereotype. And it's a shame, because it's not just a school shooter stereotype anymore, because, I mean, he really didn't seem to have that many. Wouldn't he have had a manifesto if he was some sort of political activist?
No.
Or, right? Like, no, but they usually leave something, because you don't take the day off of work, and he told us, the people he worked with,
I have something to do.
Yeah, I have something to do, and I'll be back tomorrow. You don't do something like that and think you're coming back tomorrow. Like, even if you missed the president by 180 feet and shot a tree, you're going down.
Even
They're taking you out.
All you have to do is say, I'm going to shoot.
Well, I mean, at that point, unless you had proof, or right, they might tackle you or something. But with a gun, no. Once the first shot is fired, it's a death toll. You're done. So it's suicide by Secret Service. You know, at that point. And that's what I'm saying. There was a plan, premeditated to a certain degree. You know, he bought a ladder at Home Depot, but they can't find the ladder. And he climbed up the air conditioning thing. I'm like, it was right there. You could see the building from where the podium was. It wasn't even that far away.
He bought a ladder at Home Depot that could go all the way to the top of that roof, and he put it in his Kia.
It was a 5-foot ladder, apparently. And again, this is what, you get the news. So, like, this is
must
true.
have been an 8-foot
They tracked
roof.
his stuff, and they looked at his web history, and they didn't find, like, what they would, I guess, consider to be extremist types of personalities. It could just be, anyone can snap, but to snap and do that, that's a big snap. That's like wow. That's the worst idea that anyone's ever had.
And people, I mean, before the blood coagulated on his ear, the conspiracy theories were cut.
Oh, sure.
People are taking it.
Biden ordered the hit. Oh, my God.
But Biden can't even order a shit.
He can't even order, like, room service, and you want him to...
He has COVID now. With all the vaccines he got, I don't know how it happened. Yeah, but I mean,
it's okay. We're not laughing at this. It's
it's
more the debauchery of the media. And they're not doing a bad job at it. They still throw the political rhetoric, and then they talk about unity and toning down in Biden's speech about turning. Because I watched a lot of this. You have to. I hate politics, people, but you have to watch this, even when you don't like it, just to understand what do they do about this. How do they react to this? Because it is kind of a foreshadowing of the American people. Like, you're the ones voting for these people. Yeah. And again, I'm a non-registered un-American voter, right? I don't vote because I suck. I'm not politically correct. I can't agree. I can't decide with one or two. Like, why isn't there 3 or 4? Why are we only stuck with one option? And I don't follow enough of it.
What, do you
so
think
it is
this
all right.
Baskin Robbins or something?
Yeah, I want 51 fucking flavors of presidents, man.
Nope.
But,
We made this perfectly clear when Barack Obama ran against John McCain. Chocolate or vanilla?
But all that aside,
we almost had pistachio 4 years ago, but that's another.
all that aside, I mean, again, the majority of people. These are the people. So it still reflects off of the American people.
And he's going to talk tonight for the first time since he's going to address the nation tonight at some point. So I'm sure I'll catch a
clip on YouTube.
And I think we're going to see a reserved. He's not going to be calling people Lion Ted and Crooked Hillary and.
So someone else I was talking to said the same thing. Like you wonder if this is going to be what broke him.
Yeah,
in a way,
I think so.
Because apparently nothing else could. The threat of federal prison, the threat of falling asleep in court, lying on a debate numerous times of all types of things, narcissism, all of it. Nothing broke him except this.
Yeah. He didn't. Did you know what his line in the debates were? These were his lies. Well, we had, at this point we had the greatest economy in the history of the world. Okay, you're exaggerating. Maybe this time things were better. It's not a lie. It's hyperbole. That this book weighs a ton. Liar.
It doesn't actually weigh 2,500 pounds.
And I've had people tell me he lied this many times in the debate. He lied 40 this many times. I'm like, tell me one. Oh well, it was don't. Oh well, it was on TV. You are telling me. I want you to corroborate what you're saying. Name one of them, and they can't. They don't know.
Yeah, but you can't say that he hasn't lied.
No, I mean he bullshits. He's done a lot.
Which is the same thing as lying.
He can't keep his mouth shut.
I know. Which is
I mean, and
a problem.
Yeah,
but it's okay. Again,
whatever.
Politics aside, doesn't matter. Just
PA man, PA.
A terrible tragedy for the gentleman who died protecting his family. The innocent, regardless of that guy's political beliefs, whether he was a red hat or a not, or an independent or whatever. His
children, come Christmas morning when their dad's not there, they're not going to care who he voted for.
Right.
Or would have voted for.
Right. 6 presidents could come and go, and they still don't have him, and that's the shameful part. But.
And he called that family right away. And people love to hit there's a button on the internet, it's called share, and people just love to share things that they want to believe without doing any investigating. He didn't call the people. That the dad got killed. He didn't even call him. Yes, he did.
Yeah, there's no way.
He called them right away. Yeah. And these people will never want for anything for the rest of their lives.
Oh yeah. I mean,
not only that.
Yeah.
And and he played golf the next day. You think you're gonna get shot in the ear? Have the Secret Service? You're a 78-year-old man. You're gonna get tackled to the ground, thrown into a truck.
Maybe he did play golf.
No, he didn't. Do you know how sore he was the next day?
Maybe they have a golf course in the basement of the Oval Office or his Mar-a-Lago.
Man,
he has an underwater golf course under Boca. It's a big tube. Yeah. There's sharks swimming around on the outside, and he's like popping tees.
He has a scuba gear on. Mr. President, how did you shoot today? Nobody plays golf.
Like golf on the moon.
Look at it go. Yeah, but I mean, he didn't play golf today. Do you know how much pain he was in? He was like sore. It's like an MMA fighter after he's sore and you hurt him. 70-year-old man gets thrown.
Honestly, I would really like to see the wound.
Yeah.
Right? because with ear shots especially, a bullet will cut a hole. And usually if it gets to the edge, it'll make a notch or it'll make a hole. Like a big hole. But I mean, they'll surgically fix it, of course.
Do you know,
it would make a hole.
If I were him, I'd say, you leave it. I want this to be...
Honestly, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
Because when they say scars build character, you can't get...
He could tell America. He could tell America, this is your ear, America.
Yeah.
I did this for you.
I mean, he'll probably try not to push it too much.
I don't think
both sides aren't going to poke the bear too much, but they're still going to poke, of course. They can't not. It's part of the game.
Actually, he tore his speech up that he was going to give tonight.
I heard that, and he had a secondary speech. And then even one of the congressmen or senators had a speech, and then the wrong speech was put on the teleprompter, and he read it anyway.
Oh God!
Like they were supposed to nix that one and put the sombering unity speech up because if you look at all of the networks, they're all saying the same thing. We have to come together, unity, and
you put the wrong one. Somber and unity.
Yeah.
Somber and unity.
Yeah, they're all just regurgitating the same crap over and
it
over,
is.
which is fine. I get it.
It's called an echo chamber.
Yeah. Yes.
You
yes.
say something, and I say
I know.
echo.
I know we do it too, but we try not to. But
Yeah,
so the guy read it anyway, and he's like knocking and crushing all of the things, and he didn't even stop. Like at one point, you just got to be like, all right, hold on a second. Can we just? Let's be real for a minute. You know how many people would just go, holy shit. Right? You got people to start listening because you actually got real and weren't reading off of a fucking teleprompter.
Trump did that. Trump started doing that in 2016.
Well, some people should and some people should.
Like right on stage, and they're like,
he needs a filter. Like,
yeah. And when he told the American
bleeper.
people, he's like, yeah, I mean, and people give these politicians money, and these people do things for them. I gave him money, and he did things for me. And they're looking at him like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, it's true.
What are you doing? Yeah, like,
It's
you just
true.
called me out. Yeah, but it's true.
I called myself. Donald Trump was like, I gave you money, and you did me favors, and you're a politician. And people are like, you're not supposed to say that. He's like, well, it's true.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of these people, they're groomed from a very young age.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to go to Harvard. You're going to follow in your dad.
Yes.
You have this last name, and you're going to be a congressman. You're going to be a senator. You're going to be the president. I guarantee you're going to be the president. And then all these people, they're waiting their turns. They're jockeying for position. And here comes this guy out of fucking nowhere. it's like a field of dreams. Here comes Donald Trump running out of the cornfield.
Backstage from The Apprentice,
With
he
his
just opened the
uniform.
door,
Yeah.
the on-air door, and he's like, I want to run for president.
Yeah, and the
You're like,
Kennedys,
what?
the Kennedys are like, oh, you can't play in our sandbox. He's like, yes, I can. I'm gonna poop in your sandbox.
I love I love the Kennedy accent, like when people talk about the mayor from The Simpsons.
Oh, Quimby.
Right, Quimby. He's like, I am going to drink you under the table. No, I am going to drink you under. I love that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's
yeah. Again, it's really hard to do this without talking about politics, and I don't have much to say other than
it's just,
the opinions of my normal, I guess, like
it's just a crazy,
everyday blue collar worker kind of shit. Yeah, it's a crazy thing to happen. You have to, you have to really acknowledge it. And again, going back to the holes, too many holes, especially the fact that they alerted the police. The police told the Secret Service. And I even watched the interview with the head of the Secret Service, the lady who runs it, and she took the blame. She said, we screwed up. It all comes down to us. Like, it doesn't matter whose fault it was along the way. In the end, it's your fault. You're the Secret Service. You literally have two jobs to your designation, right? Find counterfeit money.
Yeah.
And
that's their primary
and protect,
job.
which it was before the president, right?
president, yeah.
And protect the president. Now, protect the president has come first over find counterfeit money, but it doesn't mean they don't still do that. And they have other functions, but it's very minimal. But the first and foremost is that. And they didn't. It looked haphazard. Like they all didn't know what to do. None of them were close enough to him.
Right.
Like there should have been one on the corner edge of the stage. They shouldn't have had to run up the stairs around the front and go around and get behind. And no, it should have.
Well, the second his ear got hit, the footage should have the Benny Hinn song.
That's terrible. That's really terrible because I had a picture of it in my head. Yeah, because when you called me, I was at work and we were watching. As soon as you said it, we were like, "Oh," and we start looking at it.
Yeah.
Because again, it's difficult nowadays. Before, like you could have been watching TV and we interrupt your local broadcasting network with this live footage, right? We don't get that really much anymore. So you have to rely on someone to tell you if you're not watching something like news already.
Every channel changed to it.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying.
Sitcoms, game shows,
right?
Everything.
But if we don't watch TV like we watch TV in our era, you have to look it up. So I went immediately to YouTube. My buddy goes to TikTok, because he's younger, right? They all have their platform, and we find, and it's not like you go to YouTube or TikTok. If it's a CNN clip, it's still a clip from a major news network. Yeah. I don't want some guy from Iowa who's like recording his television because whatever's on there is from CNN, CBS, ABC. You want a major network because for the most part, they're going to cover it and they want to be accurate. For something like this, they're not going to put too much bullshit in there.
Well, they can't.
No, they can't. That's what I'm saying.
So
you get as much of the truth as you can.
Certain times they can bullshit us.
Yes,
but
not this.
But like after the debate where Joe Biden couldn't put two words
Sure,
together.
but that's just a debate.
Even the
Nobody got shot.
Yeah, but I'm saying, even the most left-wing, like MSNBC, the most left-wing, insane network on television, they couldn't put a paint job on Biden's performance. It was just so obvious.
This is why, again, the lesser of two evils. It just keeps coming down from everyone you talk to. Now, unless
For
there are people
most
that
elections in history, I agree.
yeah,
Not
for
this
all
time, but I'm not gonna get into it.
because to a certain degree, as much as Donald Trump is loved, he's also hated.
Right.
So it's still a lesser of two evils because even if you hate him and you want the Democrat, you got Biden.
Yeah.
And even someone like me who doesn't give a crap about politics and looking at going, is he a puppet? Is he even awake? Like, when they say, yeah, he should take a cognitive test, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
They should all take drug tests.
Well, not yeah.
All of them
I
should
get
take
that.
drug
True,
tests.
sure, but you get older and you're taking all kinds of drugs. But
No,
all
I mean
on top
cocaine, heroin.
of that, yeah, but I don't
all
even think
that.
that's the concern. That doesn't. I don't think that's the issue.
There was
I think,
cocaine in the White House.
I'm not saying there isn't. I'm
No,
just saying.
they found it in the West Wing.
Yeah, but was it like from the president? I really
It was from
doubt.
his son.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm talking about him.
Yeah.
You know, but the cognitive test, I mean, at this point, he's old enough. They're both old enough. And that's just standard. They take your driver's license away when you can't fucking drive, right? I drove through a building. They always say the same thing. I thought it was the brake.
I thought the
There's
brake
only
was
two
the gas.
pedals.
Yeah.
We don't even drive stick anymore. Okay, so there's not even an extra pedal added in there. Okay, so we got to send you. All right, you failed your test, your eye test, your coordination test, your cognitive test, and you ran over 6 cones in a paper cardboard cutout of Timmy. Right? You can't have a license no more. When do we say that about these positions? You know,
You don't.
I know.
Because they're powerful and we're not. It's like
I
it's
know.
like
I know.
It's
This
like
is again.
they do things right in front of our face.
Yeah.
And they don't. And sometimes I think they make it obvious that they're doing it to make us be like, hey, that doesn't make sense. That's just their way of saying, yeah, that's right. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and what are you
about
going to do about it? Nothing.
Yeah.
And they're right. And it's sad because you're like, you have to be that guy who shrugs his shoulders and hugs in on himself and says, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. 200 years ago, we would have done something about it.
well-
we did do something about it.
Well, yes, I mean, that was
But that's
a
not
little
going to
different,
happen
but-
nowadays.
Well, it does. We just call
it's
it
not
something different.
It's the same exact thing.
It is, but we just call it something
Yeah, we
different.
call it something different.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's okay.
But whatever. Hey, time will tell. We'll see what happens. I mean, new
Yeah.
developments are going to come out. We're going to have an election. I mean, who the hell knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, I don't care.
You know, as
Again,
long as
I
have
honestly-
popcorn.
I don't think it doesn't affect me really still. Even, again, like I was talking to someone the other day.
The price of groceries and gasoline.
That's more concerning to me than this. And it has been for fucking 6 months. So, yes, good for you, Rob, because that's realistic, right? That's more realistic that affects me than any crap that goes on with that bullshit. But I was talking to someone the other day, and because when it happens, everyone has something to say. Whether it's a long conversation, a short conversation, or there are a few people that are like, "No, I don't want to talk about it." They don't even want to touch it, right?
Yep.
And I get it. But he said, "No, this kind of shit. If he gets I'm really thinking about moving out of the country."
Good.
And
Bye.
I'm like, but I get it. I understand that feeling. I understand that.
But that feeling is
worry.
based on ignorance.
But even if it isn't,
Yeah.
we're all allowed to have our own
Of
opinions
course, sure.
and disagree with this. Now, it is
Sure.
still your choice to leave, right? But
bye.
it's only 4 years. It's not even like he can do this again.
Yeah.
Okay? So even if it's just 4 years, I'm going to tell you right now, all the presidents, we talked about this before. We've gone through like 8 or so presidents in our lifetime
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
our lifetimes. And none of them have done anything to drastically change my life. Now, have they changed the life of the country or the policies and procedures and certain? Absolutely, because that's literally the job. But most of it doesn't affect the average overall citizen. Most of it.
Not really.
Not really. And you can't deny that. But you can also argue that there are plenty of things that do. And yes, I get it. But when someone says, well, I'm going to leave the country because of it, I'm just like, it's not that bad.
No, first of all, no, you're not.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Yeah. You can't even leave you
Did
dead
you
in
start
job.
applying for citizenship? Even Canada won't take us.
No.
I mean, we have to leave our guns behind.
Yeah. Well, what country do you think you're going to move to, you idiot?
But whatever it is, you still have that choice. I mean... But it doesn't mean that that's going to be the grass is never greener. It's just different grass.
Well, people in America think that you could just go to other countries because
know.
they do it to us.
I know.
You can't. Do you
doesn't-
think you can move to China?
Well, you could,
Yeah, it's,
but only if it's benefiting China.
you can't. Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if you work for a company and you're doing something to benefit them.
Right.
Which
You
which,
can't.
would work both ways. Whatever country you move to, they want you as a benefit to their society, which I don't blame them, right? No matter who they would. But it
You can't sneak into their country, demand free money, and then tell them to speak your language.
No, yeah.
Do you think that shit would fly in China?
No.
Hey, guys, first of all, I'm going to need welfare checks, and you speak English. Oh, that guy got a big pair of balls, huh? Let's cut them off.
Oh, man. Yeah, no. Yeah. And that's an extreme situation. But even if you looked at something like Sweden, Denmark,
you can't go there.
Germany, you could.
They don't want you there.
But their process is much more rigorous.
Yeah.
Like, they don't just open arms let you in unless, again, you are someone special who offers something to help them. Like if you were an engineer for a green company that created like solar panels or and like yeah, we want that. We could use you. Here you still have to go through all these procedures, but we're going to fast track this and we're going to support you. Right. But if you're just a guy, I want to be a janitor. No. Like we've got janitors. Thanks. Yeah.
Right. Like, that's what our kids do before they go to grad school. And it's like America has like over 350 million people in the country.
Right.
And we're very culturally diverse.
Yeah.
If you go to Denmark, Finland, Sweden, those countries have 10 million, 15, 20 million people.
And they're culturally
they're racially homogenous.
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to be I'm going to exaggerate.
Not xenophobically, but yes, in a way where
they're all 6 foot tall, blonde hair, blue eyed.
Like, have you ever seen a black Scottishman or a black Irishman? It's like,
Yeah, I've seen black. I told you before, Shaquille O'Neal.
No, I'm saying like with the accent and lived there in generations growing up. It's like, no, of course. It's rare. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it's rare.
I want my fried chicken.
Going to get me homies. Like, it sounds funny to even think about that. But yeah.
I reckon I'm going to be popping a cap in your ass if you don't come correct. All right, that's enough.
Yeah. I didn't want to go too far with that.
Well, I think we did, but whatever. It's all in good fun. Come on.
But when he said that, the point going back to that is like, I just feel like that's a bit extreme. And I understand you have strong feelings about this, but even to say it, like, seriously, is just a joke.
It's just...
okay, hey.
I mean, all you're doing to me is proving to me that you're an idiot. I don't have to do it anymore. You just took the burden
it doesn't make somebody an idiot. It's just... It makes them impulsive or
sound
rash.
Like an idiot.
You're saying something rash and impulsive, and those are dangerous, especially when it comes to large
If I don't get a basketball for Christmas, I'm going to kill myself.
Now, it'd be different if it was like the first 4 years and we were married again, but it's like, that's what he's done. It would only be 4 more years, and then we'll have other problems with someone else, somewhere else.
And then it'll be lifetime politicians again.
Yeah. But, so...
I mean, he's the only guy that's ever not been a lifetime politician. I mean, sure, you have people that aren't politicians that could be elected into, like, some rinky-dink little seat.
Yeah, but he was in Hollywood. That's very political. It's very close in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but Ronald Reagan was an actor, but he was the governor of California.
Okay, right. So he held an office other than...
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
I mean, this is like... I mean, George Washington hold a political office, and but in modern day America,
that was a different time.
This is the only time somebody who didn't even hold the city council seat, became the fucking president.
I mean, actually, John Wayne Gacy had more experience in political affairs than he did at the time.
Probably.
I'm not comparing. I'm just saying.
John Wayne Gacy killed more people
that we know of. I mean,
well, he didn't start any new wars.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So it's a tough one. So
it's just a crazy thing that happened in our lifetime, and it's like it happened in our lifetime, and like kids nowadays have no idea what 9/11. They know what 9/11 is, but it's like talking to me about the Vietnam War. Good example. It affected us.
Yes, it's a good example because I mention it to the kid, and she would always say, when I say the kid, I mean my daughter, my child. And people think it's insensitive when I say it. She would always be like, "Yes, I know. We learned about it in school." Like she's tired of hearing about it. But to us, like you said, that it was really important. It was monumentous. It was personal.
Yeah,
right?
It was personal.
Just like, and that was a good example, like the Vietnam War. And I've heard the stories, and even then, you didn't get a lot of stories from. They didn't want to talk about it, and that's how you know it's bad when they never want to talk about it. But
and in 20 years, Donald Trump will be dead, and some kid that that just was born today in a hospital, pee-peeing and poo-pooing himself, it's going to be like kind of so I'm like, oh my God, like totally who cares about like Donald Trump? He's like dead, you know. It's not going to matter.
We're celebrating this again. How long are we going to do this?
Oh my God, it's like totally tremendous.
But, you know, and then something will happen in their lifetime, and they'll come across it, and maybe then...
Yeah, the internet will go down for 10 minutes. It'll be in the fucking history books.
Maybe 20 years after that, when they're our age, and they're going to reflect back, and they're going to have the same epiphany or recollection of it and understand. What is it really? It's just all of our opinions for the guy who wants to move away because he might become president. It's a different perspective. Yeah. And you can't really understand that person's perspective. You can have a conversation with plenty of people, and it's tough to really get an answer, you know, because people are careful. I mean, we're careful here. This is saddening for the country, and for me, in a lot of reasons. I mean, I lived in Pennsylvania long enough, and you know, there's always that crap where he went and bought the gun. I'm like, yes, and hundreds and thousands of people go out on every weekend and buy guns all the time. And none of them shot at the president. Yeah. So it has nothing to do with the gun, people. He could have used a slingshot from Dennis the Menace's fucking, you know, movie set. Yep. It wouldn't have mattered. Okay. But that's not the point. But it just, you know, then it builds a culture. We were just getting away from the negative culture. But
and everybody's like AR-15, this AR-15. Look, if I was going to go into one room with 30 people and I could choose one gun, I would want my shotgun.
Yes, I mean, but sure, but again,
but that doesn't sell TV commercials.
It's not sexy neither, right? Like what we consider as movie sexy. Yeah, like you know, because I was watching a bunch of stuff and a couple of this one guy I watch on YouTube, and he's they were debunking all kinds of firearm stuff, like bulletproof jackets. When people get shot, they fly back, and like no, like when they rack and this happens. And you ever notice whenever they draw a gun, all kinds of all these noises happen. It's like it's not a robot. Yeah, like
it sounds like a transformer.
Right? Yeah, like what he just drew it. It's one noise. Yeah, and then bang. You might hear a click if it has a double action. That's it. But just those facts. Debunking myths, no matter whether it's gun culture, political culture, you know, democracy culture, like just how we run we're maybe a democracy, but it's a full capitalistic, you know, nightmare.
It's a republic. It's not. This is not a democracy. If this was a democracy, we would vote for everything, and all of our votes would be equal.
Yes, and I would actually be voting. Yeah. I would. I really would. But it doesn't, and I don't, and it's not. Yeah. And until it changes.
But and people like shit on the Electoral College. But if the Electoral College didn't exist, every time we voted for president, the president of the United States would be decided by New York City and Los Angeles, California.
Okay. You're talking majority states with the most people, or concentration of people?
Yeah. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but yeah.
I know. I realize. Because you had to figure like 350 million people in America.
That there are
There's 8 or 9 million in New York. Well, that's New York City. Yeah. New York City. So let's add another 8 for the state. Right. Maybe under 8 for the state.
And all the people upstate New York with their hunting. Do you think that they're Republicans?
Right. No, it's true. Yeah. And then you factor LA's very big, and
California is a very Republican state outside of those urban areas.
Yeah. See, we're going into politics, and I hate
I'm just saying,
but it's okay.
It is what it is.
No, it is what it is.
Not my opinion.
I know. No, I just hate it. I hate that I hate it, but it's just, to me, it's like...
Because they're scumbags. They're slimy.
It's not that. It's
scumbag.
Like...
Well, they are.
There's just no right answer. There's plenty of... There seems to be plenty of wrong answers, but there never really seems to be a right answer.
Yeah. Do you know what? There is a right answer. There is a right answer, but then 10 or 20 people might not live in the lap of luxury for the rest of eternity. If they do the right
so it doesn't
thing.
fit their spectrum. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
My great-great-great-great-grandchildren are going to be rich beyond their wildest dreams, and they're not even a thought yet because of what I'm doing terrible to this world right now.
Yeah, well...
whatever.
Well, we'll see. Maybe we'll come back in a few weeks to see where this went.
Well, now that we put a smile on your big faces out there.
I don't even know how to address people with this, because even if someone's like watching from another country, everyone knows about this across the entire world. Mm-hmm. You know, there's probably a small village in Africa with 3 cell phones throughout the entire village, and they know about this. Yeah. because it's a big deal.
Conversations.
Yeah.
Have a new podcast. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
It would. I actually think that would be cool if even we sparked one person out there who listened to us to just go out and be yourself and try and have a voice.
Yeah.
And do whatever it is. We hope it's good. I don't want someone out there, spewing like anti-Semitic crap,
No,
and
hell no.
garbage,
Yeah,
and false truths and and fake news crap. But be honest, be a real person. We don't sit here with teleprompters. Every once in a while, I have a piece of paper with some stuff I wrote down from research, but I'm not verbatim reading anything. We're just talking about it like people do. Like people have conversations, and there's
And
nothing
that's what
wrong.
this is. A lifetime of conversation. This is just off the cuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and the funny thing is, like, we don't even know what the other person wants to talk about that day.
No, I know.
So that's
even if we do, you
not
really
only
don't know
is-
where they're gonna go with it.
Yeah, but not only is that unscripted, you're catching each other off guard. Now you have to
Yeah, that's why
engage.
when I do some certain stuff, it's like I kind of like to see how far, like what you think of some things, because there's a lot of things that, again, you talked about an echo chamber earlier. That's a perfect example, because we all do. We live in our little bubble echo chambers, and like yours, like you like sports, and like I
don't anymore.
But
It's so
but
sad.
you do watch. You have sports on. You pay attention to sports, right?
I leave it on for her.
It does. Don't tell me you
really-
leave it on for the
I
dog.
don't.
But
Dave,
either
I don't
way,
watch the Yankees. I don't watch basketball.
but either
football,
way, you
hockey.
have at one point. I have.
Oh, I
never-
used to love it. I
Okay,
used to.
okay, good
Oh,
example.
yeah,
So this
I
is just,
loved it.
it proved my point. I've never been in that bubble ever, not even once. I never stuck foot in. I never tipped my head in. I walked away as soon as I saw the bubble. So therefore, it may be an echo chamber that doesn't really affect anything, but it is still an echo chamber.
Sure.
So my echo chamber was over here, but other people aren't going to be in the same space with that. And it's sad that we don't get enough of the diversity. But you kind of want to. Sometimes you got to be uncomfortable. You got to put yourself into situations,
But you know what? It's available to everybody. So
Oh yeah.
well, that's a great thing. I mean, there's so much of it out there. There's so many flavors to choose from. It's impossible to sample them all. So just find a bunch of different ones that you could enjoy.
Yeah.
And
That's
instead
all.
of just focusing on one thing, you can have 10, 15, 20 things that you love.
Sure.
Like I find new shows on Netflix and stuff all the time. Like, how did I never see this?
Yeah.
Like I started watching this one called Louder Milk.
Yeah. With the guy from Office Space.
Yeah, and it's so funny. Ron Livingston, his character in Office Space is the same. The same facial expressions, the same.
Well,
tone
it's
of
kind.
voice.
I think of it's his default, but
It is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
because he's done other movies that
It's
were
good
similar.
though. It's good.
Yeah,
It's a
no,
good
I
show.
watched a couple episodes. It's great. I like his humor.
Yeah.
But yeah, going out, sometimes you got to take the chances. And I got pissed and we're going slightly off topic here at the end of our talk here. But I watched one with, I think it was called Life, with Ryan Reynolds, and they're on a space station and they get a sample from Mars and they're cultivating it on the space station, and this thing comes, it grows and starts attacking people, and it just, halfway through it, I stopped it and turned it off. I love space stuff. This was stupid. That's not what I
Was
wanna
it funny?
see. No.
Okay, because I was gonna say a Ryan Reynolds movie
No.
that I haven't seen.
And-
Hello.
No, and he died.
He's
in
my
the
man
first 10
crush. Are you
minutes.
kidding?
And he
He
died
died?
in the first 10
Oh,
minutes.
fuck
now,
that.
I'm pretty sure he came back because I think the thing took over him or bred inside of him. It didn't matter. They made. Okay, this is why I know it's a movie. I'm not dumb, right? I'm not delusional. But you don't. That's not what we need. You don't want that kind of fear.
Yeah.
And ridiculousness that they were ever going to do anything like that. Like they would try to cultivate the sample on a space station, not to bring it to Earth. No. And it was just ridiculous. It didn't matter. My point was
It's like when
it had
Jaws
really
came
good-
out, nobody went to the beach. The beaches were
Yes,
empty for
yes,
months.
Yes, you put some kind of delusional scare into people, like, and not only were the beaches empty, but the ocean started getting empty because people were going out there killing sharks. They literally dwindled the shark population for almost 20 years after Jaws came out. You imagine a movie caused almost an extinction level event towards a species of animal for no fucking reason. None. Because even when you hear about shark attacks, it's never shark death. It's only like a handful of people a year die. It's shark attacks. Not really attack. It's more like a shark tasting.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. A shark will bite you.
They
and go,
bite you and they're like, oh, no, that's
gross.
not what I wanted. That's not seal.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So they spit you out. But it has no arms. It doesn't. But you're right. And it is. And that's why I turned it off because I didn't want to give it. I don't want that.
If you want to, speaking of seal, if you want to get killed by a shark in the ocean, just swim around singing "Kiss from a Rose." They're like, dude, guys, it's seal. All right, never mind. That's
It's all right. Hey, you got to try.
No, I'm just saying, certain people will get that.
Kissed by a rose on the grave.
If I should fall, that's why his face looks like that.
Shark attack?
No, he has some. I looked it up. I actually did look it up, and I can't remember what it is.
All right. I think we've
enough.
beaten this down to a pulp.
Yeah, okay.
A pulp of something.
We're going to let
But anyway, what do you guys think? What's your opinion? I mean, there isn't anybody out there that doesn't have an opinion on something
on
we
everything.
spoke about in this very episode of podcast.
a
Because
lifetime of conversations at gmail.com, or you can
also
visit our YouTube.
comment on YouTube. It's usually the easiest way. Actually, now Spotify also has a DM, has a direct message, has a comment section. They just added, which is amazing. And I haven't really delved into it because we have silent listeners out there.
Yeah, we do.
For anybody who listens to us, you guys are very quiet.
Yeah.
No one comments.
Almost
It's okay.
too
If you
quiet.
hate us, you love us, you want to just slap us around, you can take a number because my wife's got them all. Tell us. Let us know. We want to know.
Yeah, I mean, if
most
you
of the time,
really-
I just kind of want ammo. I want stuff to bring onto the show. I want opinions. I want angles. I want a little bit of diversity. Something because I just keep picking shit that I like. What do you guys like?
Send an email, and if you really, really hate it, my name is Dave. Just direct it to
That's all right. Yeah, join. Like I said, take a number. Join the club. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to A Lifetime of Conversations, and you stay safe out there.
Peace, love, and happiness.